All right, I'm going to attempt to recharge the refrigerant on this 2015 Silverado. I've got our set of gauges, the refrigerant 134A, and the valve for the refrigerant. We're going to start with our gauges, making sure all of the valves are off. On these, they're all labeled. So counterclockwise to close, clockwise to close, clockwise, and counterclockwise to close. We're going to take the blue is the low side, the red is the high side, and we're going to hook them up to the truck. My two ports are here. Take the caps off. As you can see, one is small, one is large. The blue is your low pressure and it is the small one. Again, making sure that the valve's off. Red, the large one, making sure the valve is off. Now we're in the truck. Gonna crank it up. Make sure that the AC is on. AC is on. Letting the truck come up to temperature. It's up to temperature. As you can see, the AC is just blowing hot air currently. It's 94 degrees outside the corner of the truck, and it says it's 110 blowing. It feels cooler than that, but it's just hot in this truck. So now we're gonna crack open our valves. Crack open high pressure valve. So our refrigerant's definitely low. According to the charts online, with it being between 90 and 95 degrees or so, the low side should be between 45 to maybe 55-ish, and the high side should be anywhere between 250 to even to 300, so I'd say probably around 275. All right, so now we're gonna take the valve for the refrigerant, make sure that it is all the way open, so that pin is all the way down, and we're gonna screw it on the top of our refrigerant. That's screwed on. We'll go ahead and attach our yellow hose. With it on, we'll go ahead and close this valve. With it closed, that drove that pin down, puncturing the seal there, and we'll open this back up. Now the refrigerant is connected. I'm going to purge this line to make sure all the air's out of it by cracking this valve. You're going to open the low valve. Do not open the high valve. Open the low valve. We're just going to bump it open, let it fill up for a second, and turn it back on. All right, and we'll let that stabilize. Definitely going to take a lot of refrigerant. So come up a little bit. You can see the refrigerant going through there maybe. All right, so we're back in the truck and the AC's on, and you can tell it's much cooler based off that gauge, I still don't know how accurate that gauge is, unfortunately. It's still 94 degrees outside, but according to the infrared thermometer, we are blowing much cooler. So I'll take it. I think that there's obviously still a leak somewhere. That's hence the reason the refrigerant was low. So I'll have to fix that, make sure I fix that at a later date. I'm basically just doing this to get me to the end of the summer. And then I'll try to tackle that. I've already removed my manifold here, my gauges. Just make sure whenever you do that the valves are closed and that you put your caps back. When you take the high pressure off, it'll have a little bit of pressure behind it. Just don't let it scare you. When you remove the hose from the refrigerant, just make sure that this top valve is closed, and you're gonna have to leave this valve on with this style refrigerant container if you have any left. Otherwise you'll leak in the atmosphere, which is illegal. So you could save it and reuse it next time. Just make sure you read the instructions and store it where it's supposed to be stored. Once you have everything disconnected, you're good to go. Okay, so that's only gonna work if you have a small leak. If you have a large leak, it's not going to work. You're just going to leak out refrigerant as quick as you can put it in there. So this is not going to solve every problem. I know this truck only has a small leak, and like I said, I just hope it gets me through the summer. So if this is helpful, just give me a like and subscribe, and if not, you probably need to do a little further diagnosing.